The Rough Country low profile tri-fold cover that we have here today will be one of the most affordable hard folding options on the site. Available for the 2010 and newer Ram 2500 owners looking to really step up your bed protection, but do so on a budget. Now this will include the lockable design and tough aluminum panels and will appeal to the 6.5 foot bed owners out there without the optional Ram box. So just keep that in mind. But if you do have a different bed size or bed length HD, there are different sizes available here on the site. Finally, guys, I do want to point out the 5-star rated Rough Country will feature again those durable aluminum panels finished in a black powder coat and does get backed by a corresponding lifetime warranty, all for right around the $700 price point depending on your size. Now, leading off our features here today, and you will find that the Rough Country tri-fold cover does pack, I think, the most popular design in the category, and that is that tri-folding design, which does make this extremely easy and convenient to fold up and out of the way quickly if you do need to haul something large. Now, with that in mind, guys, unlike other covers that you might encounter here on the site, this particular option does not fold all the way up against that back window. So if you did need to haul something really big, you need access to the entire bed, then you will need to ultimately remove this cover and store it somewhere while doing so. Another feature to talk about here, guys, is going to be that really tough and strong aluminum construction, but at a very affordable price point. This is going to offer a level of protection that a soft folding cover simply cannot, and will be a great bet against protecting your stuff from thieves in addition to the elements. Now, finally, guys, the Rough Country does feature that low profile design, which I really like. Certainly gonna make for a much cleaner look once installed. In fact, it's gonna sit very flush with the bed rails after the installation and lead to a nice clean appearance. But diving a little bit deeper into the construction, and namely those panels that we mentioned earlier, again, very lightweight but very durable aluminum material here around a foam core, and that has been finished off in a satin black powder coat. Should help resist any fading, scratching, or chipping over the years. Now, the tri-fold design will allow you to open and fold back those first two panels rather easily. And then these do include clamps or straps to secure the cover in the open position. Now, those hard panels will ride on the extruded aircraft grade aluminum frame that is also included, and those will lock onto the provided clamp-on style rails, making for a very easy operation and a very easy install. Now, to help keep things watertight here when installed, the Rough Country option does include a rubber gasket or seal on all 4 sides of the cover to help keep that cargo safe, but more importantly, dry at all times. Finally, guys, we mentioned it earlier, it's certainly worth mentioning it again at this price point that the Rough Country is backed by their limited lifetime warranty, just in case you run into any issues. Let's segue into our pricing segment here, guys, and this option coming in right around $700 give or take. Easily one of the most affordable hard tri-folding options available on the site at the time of this video for your Ram HD, which is even more impressive when you consider, again, that solid build quality, tough aluminum panel design, and that corresponding lifetime warranty. Shifting gears, let's get into the install, and I will say, because of the clamp-on rail design, the tri-fold cover itself, altogether will make for a very easy, very simple, basic installation. Therefore, the site's gonna stick with, I would say, a soft 2 out of 3 wrenches here, guys. Call this one maybe an hour at most to get in place from start to finish using some pretty basic hand tools. But to give you a better idea of just how everything goes down, let's throw it out to the guys in the shop now for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you need the supplied wrench and Allen key, trim removal tool, and a cutting tool. All right, today we're gonna be installing a tonneau cover on our Ram, so let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna install our foam piece that runs along the front of the bed here. So we're trying to get it, start peeling back our double-sided tape, lay it out across the front of the bed, and then just start pushing down on it and peeling the tape away at the same time. All right, if you need to, when you get to the end, it does stretch a little bit, so you can just grab a knife or a cutting tool and just trim the edge off. All right, so we just gotta start by putting a couple pieces on our rail. So we're gonna get our passenger side rail, get one of our stoppers or lock positions. One is already attached. Just slide it over the rail, just make sure it's locked on like that. Then we'll get our front mount, do the same thing. And then our drain tube. Just gonna lock in the end like that. All right, then we can install our rail onto the side of our bed. You may need to loosen this one up. This one may be tight, just so you can adjust it. All right, now we're gonna get our 3 clamps and we're gonna get our supplied wrench and just loosen that up. You're gonna back this bolt out just enough, not all the way out of the nut, so you can spread it apart. It's gonna go on the back side of the bed and then lock into this rail here. And then we can hand tighten that. Get it a little bit snug. All right, we're just gonna get these hand tight, and then you can repeat the same process for the other 2 clamps, just in case we need to do any adjusting. All right, now we're just gonna come up to the front of our bed where our plug is. We're just gonna grab our trim removal tool and pop that out. And we're just gonna put our drain tube right in there. Once you've done that, you need to repeat those same steps for the other rail, and then we can get our cover on. All right, now we're just gonna set our tonneau cover into place. This front edge here, you see this seal, just make sure it lays over the front of the bed. All right, now we just have to put our bolts through our brackets that are underneath that long flat bracket. So we're gonna take our pin off, our handle nut, and our 2 metal washers, just so you have that rubber washer. All right, and you just do the same thing for the other side. All right, now on that same bolt on the other side, you're gonna grab the flat washer and the lock washer that you took off, put them over, and then grab your plastic nut, thread that on. Then once you get that tightened down, just put in your securing pin. You just do the same thing for the other bolt. All right, so we're gonna start in the front of the bed and start tightening everything. So we have our 2 brackets here that we're gonna tighten with our supplied wrench. And then we have our supplied Allen key. We're gonna tighten our Allen or our mounting point here. All right, now we just have our 2 locking tabs and our 1 bracket left. What you're gonna wanna do is close your lid so that you can adjust these to the proper position, which we already did. We're gonna take our supplied Allen key and tighten them down. All right, and then just take your supplied wrench, tighten your last clamp down. All right, last thing we have to do, we have our safety strap. So it's just a simple carabiner. It's gonna lock onto the underside of this middle clamp here. So once you have that done, you just repeat those same steps for the other side. All right, and that wraps up our install of our Rough Country low profile hard tri-fold tonneau cover for our 2010 newer Ram 2500 with a 6.4 foot box without the Ram box. And remember, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.